G'day guys, Chronicles of Solid here and welcome back to the garage. Today I'm talking petrol tanks, specifically the Safari 14 litre and the IMS 18 litre, both for the little Yamaha WR250R, so let's get into the gear review. Okay, so this video is basically by popular request. A lot of you were interested in a comparison between the Safari tank and the IMS tank. Now I don't know how many people who own Yamahas have had both, but I think I'm in a bit of a unique situation to compare them both because I've had both now, and I've just done the Holland track with the IMS, crashed on it, done a couple of rides, and it's had about just over 2,000 kilometers on it now, so I feel I've done enough riding where I can compare them both. So let's get into a comparison, shall we? So we'll start with the Safari 14 litre tank. It's actually 13.8 litres once you put the fuel pump in, but it probably will expand back up to about 14 litres after extended use. Build quality, the Safari probably has the slight edge over the IMS. I really like the build quality on the Safari. I also enjoy trying to support local businesses, and Safari are an Aussie mob, so that is ultimately why I went with them originally. Why I changed to the IMS was that you get about 300 to 350 Ks with the Safari, which is plenty fine for day rides or if you're in a country where fuel is easy to get to most of the time. Here you can see up to almost 800 kilometers between petrol stations if you go far enough out. So the Safari tank is kind of lacking in long distance range for me, so that was the major factor in going for the IMS. The second factor was pure incompetence. I mounted the bracket here upside down, so that put extra stress on the bolts and they cross-threaded in the petrol tank threads, so I was very worried that that would cause major issues out on a ride, so I wanted to change tanks. So I thought, why not change to a bigger tank, because my rides are only getting longer. Clearance on the Safari is really good. I've got a forced radiator guard and I had easily at least an inch or a couple of centimeters worth of gap between the radiator guard and the tank, so there was absolutely no scuffing. Fitment and instructions were very simple. It fit straight on. I didn't need to caress it into place or anything. It was all very smooth. You do have to wash out the Safari 2 or 3 times with petrol before using it, and that's because of the way they use the seams on the inside. There is some residual plastic in there that actually falls off with the putting petrol in, so you do have to rinse it out before installation. So that was one thing that was a little bit concerning when I first put it on, but I never had any issues as long as you clean it before you install it. Okay, so here we have the IMS. It's 18 litres or 17.8 litres once you put the fuel pump in. The things I really like about it is its capacity. 18 litres gives me up over 400 Ks of range, maybe about 420 to 50 kilometers if I'm very economical. It was fantastic on my latest adventure ride. Just not having that fuel anxiety is just a wonderful thing. It's one less thing to worry about when you're out in the middle of nowhere. The things I don't like about it are the clearance. Unlike the Safari, there is no clearance between my radiator guard and the tank, so there's actually been some rubbing between the two. I have fitted like a foam rubber barrier between them both just to try and stop that scuffing. Time will tell whether that becomes a major issue or not, but so far it's been good. I've crash tested them both and they've both handled that without a problem. Scrapes, bangs, all that kind of stuff. Fitment of the IMS was pretty much the same as the Safari tank actually. The only major difference is the fuel breather hose for just letting pressure out, and also it allows, if the bike tips, fuel just runs out of this. Now with the Safari, that means if you fall over, it does leak a bit of fuel if you've come off. And with the IMS, they actually have a longer hose and it fits all the way to the engine. But because I'm not very mechanically minded, the instructions were so complicated for that specific procedure, I just ended up going with the Safari method of just having the hose like this and tucking it into my handlebars, and it hasn't been a problem. If you're wanting either tank, they're both great. The Safari obviously is probably the better day trail ride petrol tank, just because if you're filling up at the petrol station and you're not paying attention, even if you fill this to the brim, it's going to weigh less than the IMS. In saying that, all you have to do for the trail rides with the IMS is mark it like I have at a couple of points. Say you want 15 litres like this, just fill it to there, and then you don't have to lug the extra weight of the 18 litres. So the IMS is probably the better big adventure tank, and the Safari is the better long trail ride tank. They're very similarly priced. The Safari tank is $20 cheaper, so there is that to factor in. Also, just before I get going, guys, if you've had either of these tanks and you've got your own opinions, comments, whatever, leave them down below, because people watching this video can read through, and then that's even more information which just adds value to this video. As always, guys, like, share and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, there's always a little card down in the bottom left. Just click on that little Chronicle Solids icon and that'll subscribe you straight away. It's that easy. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.